This was their attempt to declare absolute equality across the board for everyone in the country. Huh? There would have been no advantages. Didn't matter. Were you a Wall Street financier? No big deal. You would have no more rights than somebody who's running a little farm in Iowa. All right? It was a spectacular attempt to equalize across the entire country, and it was removed. Where does it sit right now? Here's one of the interesting things about it. If you've looked at any modern amendments, you'll see that when they're proposed, they give you 7 years to ratify. If an amendment's not ratified in 7 years, forget it. It's done. They put a time limit on it. There was no time limit declared on the 13th Amendment. All right? Even if it were true that Virginia didn't ratify back in 1819, even if that were true, and it's probably not, but even if it were true, the truth is that 13th Amendment is still a live issue. All right? They never set a time limit on it. In theory, you could run that to every state in the Union, and if you could find the people in the state that were willing to support this, you could ratify that amendment to this day.
Wow. Wow. To this day, which means right now, 2011, 2012, with people like Rand Paul taking the U.S. Senate in Kentucky, Ron Paul still in Congress in Texas, you're saying even now, the states could ratify this, and there might be a chance that, if we got 3/4 to ratify, I think it's 3/4,
Yeah.
it would become law.
Yeah.
The problem, I think here is the lawyers now occupy most of the governorships, the presidency. I mean, even the current shyster we've got now, who replaced a couple other shysters presidents. Maybe I'm saying that a little too strong. And they fill up most of the legislatures. In Florida, at one point, they were like 40–50% of the Florida legislature was lawyers. How could you ever get lawyers to agree and pass this now that they've got a total stranglehold on so many state legislatures? Do you got any comments on that? And whatever happened to David Dodge and Tom Dunn? They faded away? Did they die? What happened to them?
Well, let's start with David Dodge. Last I heard, he was in Florida. I have no idea where he is today. I've had no contact with him, I'll bet you, in at least 10 years. Would be my guess, since last time I had any contact with David. But I did hear in the last year or so that Tom Dunn passed away. He had moved out to Arizona, if I recall correctly. I think he was in the Phoenix area. I understand that he had passed away. Again, I'm not sure what's happening with David Dodge. I haven't talked to him. What could be done? What was your second question on that?
And with so many lawyers dominating all the state legislatures, how would you possibly get, because if this passes, lawyers are going to lose a tremendous occupational advantage.
Of course they will.
There is no state that is dominated by doctors. There's no state dominated by plumbers or carpenters or hat makers or boot makers, but lawyers. Well, I had a lot to discuss with Mr. Alfred Adask.